Are you ready to question everything because you weren't given a handbook for the second half of your life? Your 2.0 version, as confused as mine is, because there are a lot of things that we don't talk about. We're told that it's just better if we just keep the status quo. Well, guess what? We're about to break that. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I'll see you on the other side. I'm so glad you're here. We have so much to go over. There are so many questions that I have that have to deal with this second half of my life. I don't even know where to begin. I have goals. I have a long term goal and I have a crazy short term goal, but we'll get into that later. The status quo needs to be broken, and we, as Gen X, millennials, what have you, we need to empower each other to change how things are done so that as we enter and get further into our 2.0 season, we're better equipped. Because right now, I bet a number of us aren't ready. We don't have the tools. We were not given the tools to succeed in our 2.0. We were just told, here you go. This is how you do it. This is what's expected of you. But nobody said, oh, by the way, you need to do XYZ, or you need to have ABC, or by the way, your kids are going to move back and you also have to take care of your parents. So this series is going to cover questions, answers, everything that we're dealing with as we navigate these waters of 2.0, as we dive on the other side. All the things. We're in a place in our lives where we have to deal with all of the things. And it doesn't matter what those things are, we still have to deal with them. And we're told not to. We're told to just go with the flow and don't question it, just accept it, and just keep doing all the things. But I'm here to tell you that that's not how things are supposed to go. We are supposed to be able to navigate the second half of our lives. And we are supposed to be able to show up for people and show up for ourselves. And a lot of us don't. A lot of us don't show up for ourselves and don't know how to show up for other people because we aren't taught. And we have all of these ideas and no handbook. So if you're finding yourself in that situation, then you're in the right place because we are here to support each other. And we're here to guide each other and empower each other as we navigate into the second half of our lives. Because I don't know about you, but I'm about to be 49. And that seems crazy to me. I just can't even fathom that next year I'll be 50. But that's a whole nother subject, and we'll get into that a little bit later because, I've got some weird stuff going on there. But one of these, every day, you never know what's going to happen, but you should be prepared. And that's something that we aren't taught. We aren't taught to be prepared. Boy Scouts might say that they're prepared, always be prepared, but there's only so much you can prepare for. Are you prepared to have your parents move back in? Are you prepared for when your child needs you and they have to move in? Are you prepared for every step? And do you have all the answers? Because if you do, I want to talk to you because I don't have any of the answers. I have a group of people who I intend to ask a bunch of questions and hopefully get to a more secure place in my 2.0 so that we can all navigate the waters together. And I want us The goal of this channel is to grow the community. It's to empower everybody who is here, who has goals and who wants to see each other advance, and who we're all here because we want to help and we don't know how. We weren't given the tools. We weren't told what to do. We were not given any information. We were just told to go out and be adults. Well, guess what? We're adulting. Most of us are doing a really good job of it, but we still have questions. And there are things that we weren't allowed to talk about and we weren't told to. I know that when my parents and my aunts and uncles put my grandmother into a home, I wasn't consulted. I was in my 20s. I was adulting, but I wasn't consulted. And that was something that has sat with me. And, 20 years ago or whatever, it's been 1999. So that's a really long time ago. I am now thinking about that with my own mother. She's not ready for a home, but at some point she will be. Or does she come live with me? How is that going to affect my life? What does that do? Because right now I also have one of my children living at home because he needed a place to land when his life didn't quite go the way he thought it was going to. Maybe you're in the same situation. Maybe you're dealing with juggling kids and parents and job and significant other and all the things. And, juggling is hard. So maybe one of these days we'll all have it under control. Or maybe you do. Maybe you have it under control. Maybe you have it under control and you have something to teach us. Let me know in the comments. If you have your stuff together, I would love to talk to you about that. Leave me a comment, hit me up. We'll get together. Maybe you need to be on my podcast, because if you're as put together as you might be, you could help other people. That's the goal. We want to be here for everybody. Ask the hard questions, answers, support, and move forward into our 2.0 so that we're all in good places and have time and can enjoy the rest of our lives, because we've been so busy up until this point where now we're like, what's next? What do I do? Where do I go? Let's answer those questions. Let's answer those questions together and see how it all shakes out. I really think you're going to enjoy this series as I bring in people who are just amazing at what they do, and they answer the questions that we didn't even know we needed to ask. So if you're ready, I can't wait to see how this ride shakes out. My short-term goal, that's a little different and really has to do with what was in that thumbnail. So last year, after my daughter graduated, I was questioning, what do I do next? And I decided that it was time to really focus on me and focus on making myself healthy. Back in 2021, my oldest got married, and I had told myself back then I did not want to be the fat mom in the pictures. Unfortunately, that was 2 months before his wedding. And I ended up being the fat mom in the pictures. So much so that he hasn't shown me those pictures. It's 2024. I think I've seen one. But he was not happy with them because he said I didn't look good in them. Now, I don't remember his exact words, but I think it was they weren't flattering. So I don't have pictures from my son's wedding. I have snapshots from the reception. I'm all sweaty because I was dancing all night. But yeah, I don't have any of the formal pictures because he said they were unflattering. So fast forward to July when I was contemplating where I am in life. I started talking to my doctor, and I am very lucky. I have the most amazing doctor who has the most amazing practice. And we'll get into that later on in the series when we have her on the podcast. You will get to meet her. You'll get to ask the questions that you want to know. And then we'll talk about how I went on semaglutide. And that's been a major contention here in recent years. People thinking that obese people should have better self control, should be able to stop eating and lose the weight without the help of medications. And I'm here to tell you that that's not where I was in my life. I was not able to stop. I had a really bad relationship with food. And I can tell you that instead of having lunch, I would go to the Dairy Queen where I was on first name basis with the manager and have a blizzard. And not just a small blizzard, it was a large blizzard. And it was probably 1,300 calories. And I would say, you know what? If I'm not having anything else to eat, then that's okay. And I can have 1,300 calories and I'll just not eat dinner. Or I'll eat a smaller portion of dinner, which we all know didn't actually happen. I ate everything on my plate. And I ballooned, that's the word, ballooned, to my heaviest, which was 225 pounds. And some of you out there may not think that that's a lot. I'm 5'3". And so my BMI put me in morbidly obese. Now, I'm not a fan of the BMI because that's just wrong. There's a whole lot of people who have muscle weight that are considered obese because muscle weighs more than fat. We know this. And so it came down to how was I going to change? How was I going to stop? And it did come down to talking to my doctor about semaglutide. And we had a frank conversation. And she's like, you need to change your lifestyle and not just do this. And I promised her I would. Let's be honest, I lied. I've not changed my lifestyle so much. But the semaglutide definitely worked. And then when it came available, the tirzepatide, I got changed to that because she said it's going to help more and it's going to work better. So I have been on compounded tirzepatide since November, and I have lost roughly 55 pounds. I am about 17 pounds away from my goal weight, so that is still something that I need to do. But along with this, I have decided that I'm going to start yoga on Monday. Today is Saturday. I'm going to start yoga on Monday, and I'm going to check in every day with you people or with you so that I can be held accountable. And I appreciate your encouragement as I continue on this journey of weight loss and getting healthy because I have a goal. It's a very interesting goal. It's my short-term goal. And so in the next year, as I continue to get down to my goal weight and get healthier and thin out a little bit more, I have told myself that for my 50th birthday, I am going to put myself out there and apply for the Sports Illustrated swim search. I figured that they're a lot more inclusive than they used to be. And I've seen some really different body shapes and body types more recently in the recent years. And I figure with everything I know and what I bring to the table, and with your encouragement, I can do this. And I'm putting this out there into the universe to manifest feeling confident in my own skin. So if you're ready to shake everything up, disrupt the status quo, and just be there and ask the hard questions, then this series is for you. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.